What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me on my lovely drive home from work today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my take on Voldemort. Like, what is Voldemort? In my own personal life, what does Voldemort represent for me personally? Because I have dealt with Voldemort on many occasions, okay? And I believe that you have too. But I want to talk to you about this, and there are different levels of experience here, so just vibe with me for a minute, if you will, right? So, Voldemort to me, right, he comes into Harry's life when Harry is an infant and kills his parents. So, Voldemort is this force that seems to destroy every last shred of hope that Harry could have ever had of seeing his family whole and happy. Okay, Voldemort destroyed that. And that force was also present in my life as a young child. Both of my parents are still alive. They were not killed by Voldemort, but they were separated by Voldemort. And the image of my parents was destroyed by Voldemort, you could say, right? This source, this outside external source that was functioning within the dynamic of the relationship between my parents. My father was a violent alcoholic, was a war veteran, went through all sorts of trauma in his life. There was this force there, and it wasn't all just my dad, right? Like my mom had her own issues too, but there was this force there that separated this and destroyed every last hope that I ever had of seeing my parents together and me having a whole and happy family. So that is one level of my interaction with Voldemort, like what I think Voldemort is. Voldemort also is like the exact opposite of the hero, like the exact opposite of Harry. In fact, it's everything that Harry could have become if Harry would have chose a different path. So to me, Voldemort also represents like everything that I don't want to be and everything that I have a real fear against becoming, because I know that there's a real possibility that I could become that, okay? Because Voldemort, previously known as Tom Riddle, was just like Harry Potter, okay? He was orphaned as a young child, right? Didn't have his parents and was raised by the system. When he went to Hogwarts, he was drafted into the Slytherin house, and Harry was almost drafted into the Slytherin house, but he sort of begged and pleaded with the Sorting Hat to put him anywhere besides Slytherin, okay? But there was a real possibility for Harry to kind of go down the same path. And one of the main differences between Harry and Voldemort was that Tom Riddle, when he got to Hogwarts, was drafted into Slytherin house, he became aware of an old ancestral familial connection between the two, right? So he got obsessed with his ancestral connection to Salazar Slytherin and became obsessed with carrying out the work of Salazar Slytherin, which was to pit wizards against muggles and purebloods against mudbloods or whatever, okay? There was this racial undertone to it. So at a certain level, Voldemort actually represents figures like Stalin or Hitler, like these great evils of the world, okay? But also Voldemort is this force, this thing that has marked Harry for death, okay? And is constantly on Harry's heels, hunting him down, trying to kill him, trying to remove him from the equation, right? For whatever reason. And it seems to me that there is this force very actively in my life, but in your life too, in everyone's life. There is this force that seeks to kill us at all different levels, seeks to kill our creativity. It seeks to kill our sense of self-worth or self-love. It seeks to kill our ideas about who we could be, our dreams, okay, our inspirations. But also me, it tries to kill me literally through like addiction, through when I was younger I was pulled to more violent lifestyles, like sort of like the gang life and stuff like this, and I put my life at risk many times for no reason, and it was like there was this force that was attached to me that was chasing me down, always putting my life in danger, trying to take me out, you know. And I've shared a little bit about that in just a few videos ago, but that's sort of my take on Voldemort. Like when I watch Harry Potter and I think about Voldemort, it is everything that I hope I don't become, but everything I know that there's a real possibility I could become. Like I could become just like my father, and I have in a sense, right? I wasn't around for the a large portion of my first son's life, so I feel like I sort of followed in the footsteps of my father like that, going to prison and blah 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 blah. My mom told me I'd turn out just like my dad, and so I always had this fear and this force that was like hunting me down, trying to make that a reality, right? And this force, though, it's like internal. It seems to be internal. It's a part of the internal system as well as the external system. And I just wanted to kind of talk to you about that, make sense out of the idea of Voldemort, or share with you more in depth of what I think Voldemort is, in real life, as far as like, metaphorically or allegorically describing Voldemort outside of the Harry Potter universe. So anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.